Hey, my friend. Are you up to date with what's happening in F1? Well, today we're diving into a rumor that's been buzzing around. Is Red Bull finally going to part ways with Sergio Perez? Yes, you heard that right. There's been a lot of talk that the team might be considering a change in the Mexican driver's seat, and it's been sparking quite a bit of conversation among fans. 2024 has been a rollercoaster for Perez. While Max Verstappen continues his dominant run with win after win, Perez's performance has fallen a bit short of expectations, hasn't it? Many are wondering if he'll be able to keep his seat at Red Bull for next season, or if the team will opt for a change. Here's a question for you. Do you think this decision by Red Bull is inevitable, or are they jumping the gun? What's your take on it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear your opinion on this. And before we dive deeper into this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Your support is crucial to us. We're aiming for 1,000 subscribers, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. Join our community and help us grow. Now, let's take a closer look at how Sergio Perez has been performing next to Max Verstappen in recent seasons, and what's really at stake for him at Red Bull. So, let's talk about Perez's season in 2024. It's been a bit of a mixed bag, hasn't it? Coming off a 2023 season where he showed some strong performances, many expected him to step up and challenge Max Verstappen more this year. But, as we've seen, it hasn't quite gone according to plan. Max Verstappen has been on another level, winning race after race and dominating the track with incredible consistency. Meanwhile, Sergio has struggled to maintain the same level of performance. Sure, he's had some solid finishes, but not enough to keep up with his teammate, let alone challenge him for the title. And in a team like Red Bull, where the standards are sky high, that's been a point of concern. Perez has faced criticism for his inconsistency, especially with race results fluctuating from podium finishes to unexpected crashes or poor qualifying sessions. You can see the frustration on his face after every missed opportunity. And when you compare his performances with Max, the gap seems even wider. Here's where it gets interesting. Rumors are swirling that Red Bull is seriously considering a change. Now, we all know Red Bull isn't afraid to make bold decisions, and if they don't feel like Perez can deliver, they could be looking at other options for 2025. But, what do you think about all this? Do you think Perez still has what it takes to be a strong contender, or is it time for Red Bull to make a change? I'd love to know what you think. Drop a comment and share your thoughts. By the way, if you're enjoying this breakdown so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. It really helps us out. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and we want you to be part of our journey. Now, let's move on and look at the potential candidates who could replace Perez at Red Bull in the future. Alright, now we've got to dive into the exciting part, who could potentially replace Sergio Perez at Red Bull. There's no shortage of names being thrown around, and honestly, it's a bit thrilling to think about the possibilities. First up, we've got Daniel Ricciardo. You know, Ricciardo's return to AlphaTauri this season was a big move, and it's not hard to see why he's being mentioned as a potential replacement. He's experienced, he knows the Red Bull system inside and out, and let's not forget, he's got that winning mentality. Ricciardo's personality also brings a lot of energy to the team, something that Red Bull might want if they decide to make a change. Could you imagine Ricciardo alongside Max Verstappen? That would definitely bring some fireworks. But then again, we've got to consider younger talents who might be knocking on the door. One name that keeps coming up is Liam Lawson. The New Zealander has been impressive when given a chance, showing real pace and maturity behind the wheel. Red Bull has always been big on nurturing young drivers, and if Lawson continues to impress, he might just be the future of the team. What do you think? Is Liam Lawson ready to make the leap to the main team, or is he still a bit too green? There's also talk about other rising stars in the F1 world, and Red Bull has an eye for talent. So, it's not just about replacing Perez with a top-tier driver, but rather, positioning the team for long-term success. But I want to know your thoughts. Who would you pick as Perez's replacement if it were up to you? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's have a little debate. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, so you never miss the latest updates on F1 news and rumors. Now, with all this speculation about Perez's future, we can't ignore how this might affect the team's strategy for the rest of the season. Now, let's shift our focus to something crucial. How would a potential change in drivers affect Red Bull's strategy and overall performance for the rest of the season? We know Red Bull thrives on consistency, and Max Verstappen has been dominant. But let's be real, the performance of the second driver does play a role, especially when it comes to securing those crucial constructors' points. If Red Bull were to make a driver change mid-season, it would definitely shake things up. First, there would be a period of adjustment for whoever steps into the seat. Whether it's Ricciardo, Lawson, or another driver, they would need to integrate into the team quickly, get used to the car, and most importantly, figure out how to complement Verstappen's driving style. This could lead to some ups and downs, but considering the quality of Red Bull's engineering and their experience with driver transitions, I don't expect it to disrupt their overall performance too much. However, let's not forget about the psychological factor. Having a consistent second driver can boost the team's morale, but if there's uncertainty, that can create internal pressure. If a new driver steps in and starts performing well, it might motivate the whole team to push even harder, but on the other hand, a rough start could make Red Bull rethink their strategy for the remainder of the season. But hey, that's where you come in. How do you think this will impact the rest of the season for Red Bull? Will a new driver be able to challenge Verstappen or just play the supporting role? I want to hear your opinion, so let me know in the comments. And of course, if you're enjoying this conversation, don't forget to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you're always in the loop when it comes to F1 news. And speaking of strategy, let's talk a little bit about how Red Bull's long-term plans could shift depending on this driver situation. Now that we've discussed how a driver change could impact the immediate performance and strategy of Red Bull, let's zoom out a bit and look at the long-term picture. Red Bull isn't just thinking about next week or next race, they're planning for the future, and a lot depends on who is sitting in that second seat next to Max Verstappen. Red Bull has built one of the most dominant teams in recent F1 history, and their long-term focus is likely on maintaining that level of success. If they bring in a driver with potential for the future, like Liam Lawson, they could be grooming the next big talent. This would allow them to maintain a strong lineup in the years to come, even as Max's career inevitably nears its peak. It could be a strategic move, ensuring that the team is set for continued dominance after Verstappen. But what about the more immediate future? If Red Bull's second driver struggles, that could put extra pressure on Max to keep securing those wins, not just for the team's constructor points but also for his own personal record. That could lead to a shift in Red Bull's plans, potentially moving more resources into the second seat to make sure they have a strong lineup going forward. And this brings me to you, my fellow F1 fan. What do you think is the best long-term move for Red Bull? Should they focus on stability and keep someone like Ricciardo, or should they take a gamble on someone younger like Lawson? Drop your thoughts below, and let's talk about it. Before we wrap up, don't forget to show some love to the channel by subscribing and turning on the notification bell. Your support helps us grow, and we're so close to reaching our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Let's hit that milestone together.